Beginning of December, our second daughter was born, and it's been quite a ride so far for me. Although I have some strong routines like exercising and meditating almost every day, there have been moments where I felt a bit exhausted emotionally. If you're watching this video and you think you're still carrying some hidden aspirations or dreams within you, or if you find yourself stuck in a business or job that you don't really like, then you might find this video helpful. Hi, I'm Julian. I'm a husband, dad and business owner from Berlin, Germany. On this channel you'll find proven strategies on how to live a rich and meaningful life. For more than 2 years now I've been wanting to do some other things with my time besides growing my online marketing business. But as it often happens, there was always something else that seemed to be getting in the way of me doing the things I really wanted to do. When I recently looked at some of my older journal entries, I found some ideas and video titles for a YouTube channel. The sad thing is that quite some time went by between those journal entries and the first actual video that I uploaded to YouTube. While I regret not having taken action earlier, I still did something right. With the help of an online business mastermind called Super Fast Business, I was able to substantially cut down my work hours while also increasing the revenue that my business was generating. This has led me to a point where I can now choose to spend more time on things that truly matter to me. Life is short, and with 2 kids at home, I feel like time is running even faster for me. There is a quote from a Star Trek motion picture that I really like, and it goes like this.
They say time is the fire in which we burn.
If I could travel back in time to talk to my earlier self, then I'd tell little Julian this one thing. You can still improve a lot when it comes to using your time more wisely, Julian. Even if I probably did waste quite some time, I came to the conclusion that however old we are, it is never too late to start something new or to explore new interests. I do think though that there's a price to pay for going after our sometimes hidden dreams and aspirations. And I'm not sure how many people are really willing to pay that price, and that does include me. While we could be watching Netflix in our free time or spend time on news apps on the phone, we could also decide to just sit at the kitchen table before breakfast to write the next chapter of that book that we've always wanted to write, or to make plans on how to achieve our goals, or work on that side project that deserves a lot more of our time. I have been implementing 3 things in my own life to help me achieve my goal of recording more videos like this one. First, I've been saying no more often to clients who are not a good fit. When I do this, I'm basically saying no to additional revenue for the business. I do this because I value the additional time and peace of mind higher than the added cash flow. Second, I've been blocking time slots in my calendar to make sure I really work on this. And third, I'm working on this whenever unexpected and small windows of time open up during the day. So what motivated me to apply these changes to my life? The answer came to me while listening to David Data's excellent book, The Way of the Superior Man. But it wasn't until recently that I took his advice seriously. By the way, while preparing this video, I used shortform.com to review the content of David Data's book. If you don't know shortform.com yet, it's an excellent source for book summaries online. So what does David Data have to say about making time for the things we really care about? He talks a lot about finding one's purpose, which could be defined as some heart impulse we yearn to fulfill. When going through that book summary on shortform.com, I was really struck when I read this. When you live without purpose, everyone can feel it. You lose your woman's trust and your children's respect. And then, similarly, if your children feel that you're weak, disconnected and unsatisfied, they will grow feeling that your love is unreliable and half-hearted. So what does this tell us? Living with purpose is not just a nice to do thing. When we take David Data's advice seriously, then living with purpose becomes a must. So why is that? Because if we don't feel connected and satisfied at work, then let me repeat, we risk losing our partner and the respect of our children. Let's look at an example probably everyone has heard of at some point. A middle-aged man, successful with more than enough money, but unhappy with his work. He seeks out other and sometimes younger women, ultimately risking his marriage. Had the same man spent some time finding more fulfillment at work or doing something completely different, then maybe he would not have needed to seek out other women. Isn't that fascinating? How about this for motivation? if we choose to stay stuck with work we don't really enjoy, we actually risk losing the people we love the most. So what do we do if we feel stuck at a job or in a business we don't really like? There are several ways to go about this. We could start by trying out something new in our free time. Some people might find their purpose in music, for example. Instead of leaving his job in order to become a musician, he could be freeing up 1 or 2 hours every day to just play the guitar, for example. By the way, we can find a lot of examples of people who did exactly this. For example, the best-selling author John Grisham was practicing as a lawyer in his 30s when he felt he had a story in him. What did he do next? He just sat down and asked himself, what if I'd be able to put this story onto paper? From then on, he'd just write a page or 2 every morning before going to his daytime job as a lawyer. Just like John Grisham, we too can explore other areas of interest. We just need to make time for them. While I was sitting at the script for this video, it was 9:18 a.m. in the morning. I was actually a bit afraid when I decided to show up a bit later at work to greet my team on Slack. But I decided to do it anyway. And when I did show up later that day, nothing bad had happened. If you're an employee and you don't have children, then you have the added advantage of having a lot more time than if you were a dad with 2 children. So basically, the younger you are and the less obligations you have, the better. And trust me, I know what it's like to have no children, and I can remember how much more time I had compared to now. You could start by skipping a Netflix series or 2 and work on something that could actually lead to something. If you made it this far in this video, then what kind of work would you like to explore? What do you think could bring you more joy than what you're currently doing? Could you just schedule time for it in your calendar like I did? Or use some unexpected windows of time that spontaneously open up during the day to work on this new thing? Or could you say no to some activities or people who take away too much of your time or energy? What price are you willing to pay to try out something new? Determine what that price is for you and then just start paying it, because otherwise chances are nothing will change to the better. And let's also consider the potential pain of not paying the price. As I mentioned earlier, in my case it could be losing the respect of my 2 children or losing my partner's trust. There is a lot at stake here for me, and if you're watching this video, then this might apply to you as well. So if you're not perfectly happy with your job or business, then I urge you to make the time to explore something else. Something that has the potential to give your life a deeper meaning and that gives you a true sense of purpose. Now, I'm really curious, have you been carrying around some ideas or projects in the back of your mind? Some things that you'd really like to be working on, but that you're not currently doing? If yes, what is it? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you already had all the money you need to support yourself or your family, what's the thing that you'd most like to do with your time? Or in other words, if you could be or do anything you want in life, what would it be? Please let me know in the comments below.